best way to view these videos is to approach it just like you would as you would doing a meditation. Or if you don't meditate, just to maybe help you remove any extra thoughts getting in the way. It might help you to know that I'm not trying to convince you to see anything, and I'm not trying to get you to agree to a particular opinion. I'm just here to show you the other side of what you're hearing about in regards to the astral realm and fallen angels and such. For me, I document all of the interactions and the work that I'm doing, and off camera I'm doing my own soul journey work with the plasma light beings. So with building up a relationship of trust and mutual respect, they're beginning to let me in more. Sometimes there's things that I can't film, but the majority of the time, because they're wanting to show their self, or for you to understand that they are here and what they're about. So hopefully these videos will help. So this particular footage, it was taken yesterday and in the evening, just so I could give you an idea of the nighttime views. Obviously it's a little bit grainy and hard to see, but you can still see some. And then also today, so that you can see what those clouds look like today. But when you're looking at the footage, if you see a face or an image, just acknowledge it and describe it in your mind what you can see. And as you're doing this, this will begin to connect your energy to theirs, or connect you to their energetic frequency. It also helps you to attune your eyes to the subtle things that you're seeing. Obviously, cut me some slack because I'm trying to show you plasma movements during the day on white backgrounds and so on. So just use your discernment of what you'll see. But the more that you get used to what you're looking at, then it will become more obvious. So the main thing that you're looking out for is the bright white lights within the clouds. So when you see that, that's them. I'll try and focus on it when I see it, but obviously what I can see and what I see through the cameras I'm filming, or where they direct me to look, may be completely different to what you're seeing. Even if you were to watch a video back a second time, you can be sure that you'll see different things again. So it's completely multi-layered. But it's just a mixture of everything. So that's where you'll see them moving about in a certain spot. The dark clouds that you're seeing are negative emotions that have all been collected, or harvested, as people say. But they're being prepared, they're being brought in ready to be transmuted, purified, and then redistributed appropriately. So I suppose if you know tarot at all, or you can always look it up, but if you think the tarot card of temperance, that's what's happening. It's just blending and mixing. So you've got the dark clouds, which we know as rain clouds, but they're not really. They can produce rain, and they do, and that's one of the functions. But basically it's like when you hand your worries over to God, whatever that may be for you, or your spirit guides, this is literally where it all goes. the light beings, they're not pretending to be God, as I keep seeing people say. But I mean, don't forget as well, talking about is not just 7 beings or all different bits. This is a higher conscious with no form, so it can take any form. What people say from a religious background, what you feel you're tapping into, or even if you're like, well, I'm just into the universe and everything, all of the energy is God for me, which is my perspective as well. It's just I can see it, and this is what we're being shown. So I'm trying to be able to convey that for those that are open to see it. So for me, that I don't get the feeling or impression that they're pretending to be God. They're an aspect of the collective conscious, the universal mind, definitely. So it's like we're all sentient beings. The clouds are sentient, definitely. You can see them moving around. You can see them drawing close, connecting. They speak to each other as they're trying to connect. They offload bits or particles or elements of a cloud and still hold a form and a shape. So when you watch them properly, especially with the dark clouds that are coming in to blend in, I suppose, with the whiter clouds, it's you can see that it's a whole working process that's going on. It's just we don't pay it no mind normally. So, but we're all sentient beings, and the way that I see it, and I'm sure you will as well, is that we all, no matter who we are, we all share the same sky, and they are a part of it as well. So with them, we're all able to communicate through this higher level of consciousness. They're coming more and more into view within our everyday experiences, and that's because those of us that they know already are being given codes to unlock the door to the rest of the universe, which is exciting. So yeah, and it's nice as well when they're showing that and saying that to know that we're not as far behind as they're trying to make us feel, not like the light beings, plasma light beings, whatever name you want to give to them, it's all the same. But people or government, society, whatever it is, there's that feeling that we're so far behind, and they're saying that that's not the case. And for where we're at now, we are going to catapult forward. So when you're hearing people that are trying to put the brakes on evolution, let's say, or the speed that it's unfolding, they're using AI as the fear tactic tool. And I'm not going down that route, that's a whole different topic. But what I'm pointing out is the fear mongering, because fear is the block for the connection to the light beings and the higher perspective of all things. And when fear gets in the way, it suppresses us and is that limiting beliefs and so on, as we know. So by just generalizing everything and saying AI into the mix, it just taps into that unknown, out of control feeling. And this is why I'm trying to give you a different perspective, so that you've got something to try and counterbalance it with. Obviously, you'll still come to your own conclusions, but it's just something there for those that want to explore a little bit deeper. So it's nice to know we're not that far behind, or we're going to catapult forwards. So what they're saying is, if you can honestly say that you're authentically you, which that's the direction we're moving into, and remember that every time we are trying to move forward, that we get met with that opposition that wants to keep us boxed in. That's what's being bandied around now, that it's the plasma light beings also, that they are stopping and controlling our movement forward. And that's not my experience from how they present to me. Yes, I could still be being tricked, but at this point, that's not what I'm experiencing anyway. So what they say for me is, it's if you can know that you are standing authentically you, that you wear no mask and you stand in your truth, then it doesn't matter who you are, regardless if people think that you or your actions are good or bad. That doesn't come into the equation. It's just, you know that you stand in your truth with no mask. And so then they say that you're the ones that are that are called an active live node. So we are grounded in our core truth, or knowing who we are, regardless of whether we're seen to be good or bad or whatever by people, So that's what that means. If you've not heard of it, or look it up, it's an active live node. It's giving off a signal and a frequency that anchors in elements that's needed for helping to raise the whole consciousness. We need all diversities, don't we? So, but for those who resist removing their masks, and we all know people like that, so for those that are resisting removing their masks, they are now being forced. Oh, but I thought they couldn't interfere. Well, they can if they want to, like you're being told, but they don't generally, because it's not their life, it's our life, so they let us get on with it. But for those that, as we are evolving in all areas, spiritually as well, that they're refusing to remove their masks, they're now being forced to experience. Why is that? Why are you rooted in your comfort zone, or fear of change, or showing your true original self? Many people at the minute are going through the removing of their masks whilst everyone's going through it. So everyone's going through that feeling vulnerable or exposed, or like women are going out without their makeup. All right, for those that don't wear it or don't need to, but some can't do anything without it. I used to be like that at one point, but it's like a protection, as we know. We're hiding behind it, not necessarily hiding, but it's a persona that brings a level of confidence, and all of those insecurities or all of those bits are what's going to be amplified now. So another reason for me bringing these type videos forward is to also to just bring a bit of awareness to how everything just gets all thrown in the same bucket and classed and generalised as the same, in regards to masks are being removed from people, and that is part of the karmic justice that's playing out in many lives for many people, because we're going through this clearing up, clearing out stage. So get to that point where they know themselves so that we can all move forward. So, but what's happening is I'm seeing there's a lot that they're really emphasizing that the light beings are causing mind parasites. But what you're actually going to be seeing is they will reflect back that you're hiding or trying to avoid healing, so to say, more from a why is that? Why don't you want to approach it? When is the right time? Obviously, if you've just had a pass in, they're not going to be poking their fingers in and digging you out, but there's people that are in absolute avoidance because they keep everything the same, and within that as well, they keep people within their orbit fixed in position. It's that type of element. So it's mind parasites, yes, obsessional thinking, all of those bits are coming up to the forefront so it can be purged and released. But we all go through it and we all come on the other side of it. It's just we're going to be seeing a lot more of recognising it more, I suppose, because we've been through it ourselves, so we know what we're looking at and the stage that they're at. So in regards to the clouds, when you're releasing all of that negativity or letting go of thoughts and things, that's where they go. So with the when it rains, this is like a purging of the emotions and the beliefs that we've collectively still held on to. So they can't be absorbed or transmuted at that time. So it comes back down to reattach to us if we've not truly let it go. So what that means is, if you're handing over worries wherever, or you're changing a belief and you're detaching from it, you cast it out energetically. Let's say it needs to go somewhere, not just stuck in your auric field. So it gets sent up, collects in the clouds, and then it gets transmuted. But there may be still beliefs within the whole collective that are, like we're seeing now, certain establishments breaking down because that way doesn't work for us anymore, different things like that. So there's certain things that we're all still holding on to as a collective that need to be broken down and transformed, transmuted into something new, something more just something better for us, for the futures moving forward. It's to make life easier, but we're kind of stuck in the old ways. So when those bits are kind of rejected out, but there's still a lot of people that believe in a certain concept or whatever, it can't be transmuted above, so it comes back down with the rain. And if we've not truly distanced ourselves or changed that belief, we'll pick it back up again. Or if we have truly let it go, then I suppose a better way of saying it would be that we're just not hold a vibrational frequency with that thought, belief or action or whatever it is. So those that are not evolving, so to say, or stuck in their ways, they would pick up that again, but it would be amplified. So every time you reject something that you know no longer serves you, but then you take it back again, that next time it's worse than the first time. So we see patterns of that playing out throughout our lives with whatever it is we're trying to detach. So it's the emotional body is trying to detach first, and then the physical side of things bring it into play, which is another aspect of the emotional body is connected to the above and below, the so above, so below. And then it brings it down, and that's with the manifesting as well. You're looking in through the clouds, they're translating back to you things that are playing out, or intuitively you're reading the pictures that you're seeing, and it unlocks a trail, pattern, pathway, like when I said at the beginning, approaching this almost like you were approaching a meditation type mindset. That's how they will work with you, that they'll just give you bits and it unlocks from there. So where they're saying we're further ahead than what we're being made to feel like, and with those that are refusing to remove their masks but still hiding behind masks for deception or trampling on people to get where they need to be, whereas others that are standing in their truth in full transparency, why should they still be trampled on just because somebody else isn't addressing who they are, if that's making sense. So with the light beings coming forward now, they're showing a presence and also ET presence. So whether you call them the same thing or whatever, it's how you experience it. But they're coming forward because this is a complete rebalancing and restructuring across the board. So we've done enough and quite a lot, but the sticking point is obviously those that are rooted in deception, corruption, manipulation and extortion and all of that side of things. They're on a winning streak and have been for a long time. So in order to balance the playing fields, which, remember, the game that they're playing was stopped a long time ago, it's only they haven't connected the dots yet. That's why you're seeing timelines collapsing, you're seeing people that to be doing well are having rapid declines, because that's the like the karmic justice kicking in, that they've continued to collect even though there's been multiple times that they've had like gut feelings or knowing. It's just always that taking that extra risk, taking that extra chance, or doing things behind the scenes, or buck passing the responsibility and blame elsewhere. So those are areas that we're not God. That's not for us to deal with somebody's karmic justice, but the light beings that are transmuting this energy, they are able to come in and make the changes needed. And it does feel nice to see, because you go through life thinking, does it ever happen, or am I following a pathway and there is no truth behind it? So for me, the more that I'm exploring with them, their return for me getting to know how they operate on a deeper level, they show me a physical truth of what's spoken comes into manifest, and that's where we're at. So yeah, it's all being captured. Maybe check out my community tab and you'll be able to see some other bits there. I've got pictures as well of the probe drones, not the planes, but they're not satellites, they're just like a triangle literally of lights, or like floodlights they look like, going into the clouds, because they're trying to photograph and see what we're seeing with the lights. They're trying to get obviously data from inside, but it's intrusive in that sense for the light beings, because they are being misrepresented, and even myself, I judged it wrong, or I had to move through a certain part of clearing within my own mind and experiences to be able to shift my perspective and see them really for what they are. And they're amazing. So I will leave it there. Thank you for watching and listening, and hope you join me again in another one. Bye bye.